Hello, beautiful being. This is just a word of encouragement. You know, people who see themselves in a negative light or through a lens of negativity tend to see others in the same way. As you're doing your soul's work, whether that's just simply learning to love yourself or maybe learning how to express your creative gifts here on this earth, but whatever work it is that you're doing, that you're called to do, there are people who will perceive you as something that you are not. And that's not your problem. It's not your problem. It's not your job to fix their perception of you. It's your job to just be you and to allow yourself to be genuinely guided by the truth that lives inside you, but has been quieted or hushed or maybe even at sometimes distorted temporarily by the matrix, by programming. And so that right there in and of itself is enough work just to align with who we truly are, right? When we add on to that task of aligning with our truth, let me make sure that people see me the way that I want them to see me. Let me make sure that people perceive me in an accurate light. That's just too much. And actually trying to do that takes us away from the work that we're meant to do, because it's our goal, whether we realize it or not. It's our goal to not care how people view us. It's our goal. It's what we are here to do, to learn how to do, to pierce through the illusions of this matrix and not allow the pressure that we might feel sometimes to be liked, to be accepted, not allowing that pressure to steer us on our path, but instead realizing that, yeah, sometimes we might feel that pressure where we don't want to be misunderstood, because that is a true desire within us as humans. I mean, we're spirits, we are souls, okay, and we embody this beautiful divine energy, but we are here having a human experience, and we can't deny that aspect of ourselves, that a human need is to be understood, to be loved, really, to be loved. But we don't get that from everybody. We don't get that understanding from everybody. When we're blessed enough to have a loving, healthy relationship with a person, whether it's platonic, familial, or romantic, that is a blessing, to experience that true divine connection and understanding. But expecting every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes along and views your creations or experiences your creative energy, expecting them to understand why you do what you do, that's an expectation that sets us up for failure and for disappointment. And it's not to say that there's something really wrong about having that expectation, because when that expectation is not met over and over again, sometimes what we'll find is that we're forced to realize that, oh, I shouldn't care because I just keep getting disappointed. People keep misunderstanding me. So maybe that's not the point at all. Maybe I'm not doing this to be understood by everybody. I'm just doing this to express myself. I realized this because of a comment that was left on one of my videos, and it appeared to be a male, okay? And he referred to me in the comment as queen, and then he mocked my video. He LOL'd it, and then he goes on about how what I had said in the video was not in alignment with the Bible, and that I need to align with Christ, with Jesus. And the first thing that I thought of, was, you know, do you know Jesus? Because the Jesus that I'm familiar with would not refer to a woman as queen and then mock her creations. And I realized in his comment that he did not have an accurate perception of Christ. Because Christ does not love through force. Christ does not force anyone to love. Christ, in my opinion, is the ultimate frequency of kindness and of love and acceptance. So why was he coming at me with mockery and force? So if people have perceptions that are extremely skewed and extremely off about Christ, then how do you think they're going to react to you and I? You know what I mean? And that's one reason why, you know, some people would consider me a witch. I consider myself, I don't mind the term witch. I work with the elements, and I'm an alchemist, I'm a spiritual worker, whatever. But a lot of people assume that because of the things that I share, the rituals that I share, and the things that I post about, that I would be opposed to Christ consciousness, and I'm not. I love Christ and I love Lilith. I love Christ and I love Mary Magdalene. I love Christ and I love Oshun. I love Christ and I love Yemaya. I mean, the whole spectrum. You know what I mean? But one of the things that I love most about Christ's energy is that the way that he's portrayed in the Bible, it's like he was here to do divine work. And he was so persecuted. He was so persecuted, and he was persecuted by the people who were supposed to be his people. The religious leaders, the religious teachers. So that lets you know right there that that's not what he was. They weren't his people. You know, they were not his people. He was different. And he was here with a different assignment. And he came here in a totally different frequency. But yet people try to, even today, like that guy in that comment, they try to lump him in with all the other religious leaders and teachers and low vibe religious frequencies that try to convert people through force and mockery and shame. Like, how are you going to come to me and try to shame me, as I don't receive that energy, and then you want me to convince me of something? Everybody knows that doesn't work. Like, I guess in some circles it does, you know, I mean, in a lot of churches it works to shame people into aligning with a certain belief. But we don't do that here. We don't do that here. And so I'm really grateful for that experience, though. I'm so thankful that he left that comment, and I'm so thankful that I saw it. And I love that what I learned from that was that people misperceive Christ and a whole bunch of other beautiful energies all the time. So when they don't get what you're doing, when they don't understand it, or when they label it as what it's not, don't be discouraged. Don't process that as a sign that you're not doing what you came here to do. Actually, it feels like that's a sign that you're doing exactly what you came here to do. And it might ruffle some feathers. It might rub some people the wrong way, but sometimes that's how we learn as beings who are on this journey. Sometimes that's how we learn best, is through being tested. You know, having our beliefs tested and questioning, is this really right for me? And maybe the conclusion that we come to is that, yeah, it's right for me. I disagree with what this person created. I disagree, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, if you made somebody think about something deeply, you offered them a really beautiful divine experience. You offered them an opportunity that just might help them more than they would ever realize, and more than they ever anticipated being helped. So, yeah, how they see you is not your issue. Just keep being you. I love you, and I hope that this was helpful. I wish you peace, I wish you joy, and so many blessings. Take care.